Pooh Shiesty decided to walk into court and do this. Pooh Shiesty, I'm innocent in Gucci kidnapping case. Pooh Shiesty swears he's innocent in his federal kidnapping and robbery case involving Gucci Mane, and he said as much in court. The rapper was arraigned Friday in federal court in Dallas, Texas, and pleaded not guilty to all charges against him. Pooh's lawyer, Ken Schaefer, tells TMZ, as we reported, well, really as Ceddy Nash first reported, federal prosecutors filed robbery and kidnapping charges against Pooh, his father, and 7 other defendants, claiming they robbed and kidnapped Gucci and others back in January inside a music studio in Dallas. The feds claim Pooh went to the studio to get Gucci to terminate a recording contract between the 2 hip-hop stars. Pooh remains in custody, awaiting trial after a judge rejected his bid to get out of jail on a bond. His father previously pleaded not guilty in the case. Ditto for Memphis rapper Big 30. But keep that in mind, all right? Now, if you don't know, let me put you up on game. If you ever wish payday came sooner, this might actually help. There's a banking app called Current with a bunch of useful features. And one of the main ones lets you access up to $750 of your paychecks early. If you switch your payroll over with Current, you get a full set of features like paycheck advance, fee-free overdraft, and the build card and more. There's everything in one app. I actually like that myself, which is why I partner with them. And right now, they're giving $75 to anyone who signs up using my link or scans the QR code on the screen. If you scan the QR code, it'll take you straight to the sign-up page where you can create your own account. Just go through the normal sign-up steps, enter information, order your card. After you complete those steps, you'll see the option pop up to enter my promo code, which unlocks the $75 bonus when you switch your direct deposit. So make sure you go through the full sign-up process so you don't miss it. If you ever feel like managing money is stressful and tight sometimes, it's definitely worth checking out because that's literally what it's designed for. Typically, when somebody decides to plead not guilty or guilty or whatever, the paperwork pops up and then it lets you know, all right, whatever day, blah, 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 and a little bit of here. It's typically 1 to 2 pages. But in this instance, we don't see shit. So I want y'all to look at exactly what's going on because this is where it gets really, really tricky. So it says, notice as to Latrell Williams Jr., counts 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right. Then you go to his dad. He's on counts 1, 2, 3, and 4. And everybody else is on counts 1, 2, 3, and 4, with the exception of Corday Johnson and Kadarius Waters. Their counts 1, 2, 3, and 4 as well. So let's go ahead and see what the hell count 5 is, because you have 1, 2, 3, 4 people: Demarion Gibson, DeMarcus Glover, Darian McDaniel, and Terrence Rogers. They all literally have count 5, while nobody else does. So as we look, I'm going to start with count 4 because I think that shit is extremely important to notice as well. So count 4 has extortion by force, violence, and fear, aiding and abetting. Then it goes on to say on or about January 10th, 2026, in the Dallas Division of the Northern District of Texas, defendants Latrell Williams Jr. and Sr., Rodney Wright, DeMarcus Glover, Darian McDaniel, Terrence Rogers, Corday Johnson, Kadarius Waters, Demarion Gibson, aiding and abetting each other, did obstruct, delay, and affect commerce as that term is defined in 18 U.S.C. 1951, and the movement of any vehicle and commodity in such commerce, and that the defendants did unlawfully take and obtain property, to wit, jewelry, watches, from the person in the presence of RD, with that person's consent induced by the wrongful use of actual and threatened force, violence, and fear. And then it goes on to tell y'all what the violations are. But let's look at count 5. These are basically the jackers because it only says count 5, interstate transport of stolen goods, aiding and abetting. So on or about January 11th, 2026, in the Dallas Division of the Northern District of Texas, the defendants DeMarcus Glover, Darren McDaniel, Terrence Rogers, and Demarion Gibson, aiding and abetting each other, transported and caused to be transported in interstate commerce from Texas to Tennessee and elsewhere. Stolen goods, wares, and merchandise, that is jewelry, watches, having an aggregate value of $5,000 or more, knowing the same to have been stolen, in violation of 18 U.S.C. 2314. So they are the ones who had the jewelry, and I'm assuming probably some cash or something like that. I don't know, because, they said Gucci got robbed of a lot of money, and he got robbed of, his earrings and all this shit and everything. And the other dude, I can't remember his name. He had the jewelry up and all this shit, the 1017 chain, bragging on the internet and blah, 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 some more shit. But I'm curious as to, I know exactly why you guys are curious. You guys are like, how in the hell did they specifically choose these cats? Maybe you knew 4, but the other people that were involved, bruh, we only seen where they only named 2 of those cats. So it's really 5 that we're dealing with. Pooh Shiesty, Big 30, Pooh Shiesty Daddy, and the other 2 that they were able to name through the Instagram and all of that shit. What about the others? Then here's the funnier part, and I think they are playing a terrible game, right? So there we go on for the waiver or notice of waiver of arraignment and entry not guilty plea as to Latrell Williams Sr. And then you have Latrell Williams Sr. He got this notice of waiver of arraignment hearing. Court finds that defendant and his counsel have signed the waiver, and this court hereby accepts this notice and waiver of appearance at an arraignment hearing and enters a plea of not guilty on his behalf. Yeah, but I find it fascinating, right, that we still don't see anybody else's shit. And I have a theory behind that. Because you can see right here, right? We have the 5/5/2026 electronic notice of hearing for Latrell Williams Jr. That's Pooh Shiesty. And then you see right here on 4/29 electric order before they have substitute counsel where they talk about Bradford Cohen and Simon and all them. But let's get really into it. Well, they decided, because you can't really find it unless you deep dive it, to basically damn near hide Big 30's plea deal. I mean, not plea deal. His not guilty plea. Everybody has pled not guilty. Pooh Shiesty was the last one, as far as I can see. But literally, you had to dig for like 20 effing minutes. So if I'm digging 20 effing minutes, that would mean that I really don't want to do it. So my theory, this is merely a theory. The feds want to confuse people as to, you don't know who's telling and who's not telling. You don't know who's cooperated or who's not cooperating. Nobody has pled anything. Now, some say, well, Nash, you kind of jump in the boat, bro. Like, of course, nobody wants to plead guilty. Who the hell wants to plead guilty to that? But why won't the feds show it would be my rebuttal. Why won't the feds show it? The feds ain't even showing Pooh Shiesty's damn deal. I mean, innocent shit. We seen his dad's, but through every record that we can see of people saying shit, Big 30 said, I'm not guilty first. That don't sound odd. That don't strike y'all as odd that why am I only seeing one freaking I'm innocent goddamn piece of paper? Why? It's not supposed to be that difficult. With the feds, all right, maybe a day or two it uploads and all this shit. But the fact you got to deep dive to even find all of this shit, people know like we know. They know the family members of each person is watching channels like this to relay certain things, because lawyers typically ain't going to tell the family because they can't, because they're not their client. Their client is the person that's incarcerated, but the person that's incarcerated, he doesn't want to talk about shit on the phone. And for the most part, they have different tiers and different floors of shit, and they put everybody in different spots. So that way, you don't know what he's doing, he doesn't know what you're doing, and we don't know what's going on as a whole. So they use channels like this to say, hey, well, Ceddy Nash said this, and this. Oh, he did? All right. How thorough is he? Man, he the best in the game, man. I'm subscribed to him, man, because he's $15K away from these 2 things giveaway, get on his PlayStation and that Xbox. So I'm subscribed. I'm a visionary. But he said, due to the paperwork he showed, not through his words, bruh, ain't nobody said I'm not guilty. Everybody said I'm not guilty. Now, once again, I would understand it if the feds just went ahead and put the shit all the way out there and said it that way. But they didn't. And I'm one of those where there's smoke, there's fire. So I'm curious if they already know they probably got somebody that's a little shaky. And when it comes time to do what they're supposed to do, if they will. I don't know, because it was 2 people wearing ankle monitors that day. It wasn't just Pooh Shiesty. Aha. And we already broke down how Bradford Cohen got his ass fired, man. Once again, I say I would have stuck with him, but Ken Schaefer actually is cool, and Pooh Shiesty ain't broke. So there's that. But y'all, let me know y'all thoughts on this. Or maybe I'm tripping. Maybe it's the drugs finally getting to me. Maybe y'all can, see it coming up or something. I'm just saying, man, I don't believe in coincidences like that. Not this way. Not the way that they typically do shit. Now, maybe Texas is just different. But in California, that shit ain't flying. They're all the feds. So can nobody say, oh, no, it's the state of California? Nah, buddy. No. Texas is supposed to run like California. California's supposed to run like Texas as far as the feds go. But y'all, let me know y'all thoughts on this one. Whew. Rick Rose. Crying to Drake already for an apology? You must have heard Iceman. Click right here for that video or click right here for the playlist. Nah, catch you on the next one.